Hey everyone, this is Anna with Scrapping, Stamping, and Stuff, back with another stamping video. It has been a little bit since I've dropped in with a video, and I'm hoping to get back to more of this. So I made this really cool Halloween lantern this past week, and I think you can see my reflection in that. That's kind of funny. But it turned out really cool when it's dark out and I put my little flickering tea light in here. This looks really cool. When I put this is going to be on my website, and if you check it out, I'll have the picture of what it looks like in the dark, and it is very cool. So I wanted to share, takes a few steps and a little bit of thought for how to put these together. So I wanted to just pop in and show you how to do it. I used our snow globe scenes dies with this, which I have made some really cool stuff with these. Here are a couple of other things I've made with these. This is kind of how they were designed to use them, to make shaker cards. And I use the snow globe scenes dies there for the background and for the base of the snow globe. This, I thought, you know what, why not turn that into a treat holder? So I made this cute little Halloween card and put candy corns in there. So you can do a lot of neat things with these. I thought this lantern turned out really neat. So let's talk about how to make it. Show you first what we need. We need a piece of black cardstock that measures 6 inches by 11 inches. We need a piece of black cardstock and a piece of vellum that measure 3.5 inches by 4.25 inches. We need one of our clear shaker domes, I believe. I forget what they're called exactly, but we need one of those. And I cut these out with the snow globe scenes dies out of black cardstock. The church, which we are going to be making into a haunted house. These two little bats I stamped with our Wonderfully Wicked stamp set, and I cut them out. And some of our black glittered organdy ribbon to put on the front. And I think that's it. A couple of adhesives. So let's get started. Halloween's going to be here before we know it, and I know lots of you out there absolutely love coming up with cool decorations and treats and all sorts of fun things for Halloween. So I thought this would be a fun project. So first, get out my scoring board. Here is my 6 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. I'm going to turn it vertically to start and score it at 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to turn it horizontal and score at 3 3/4. I'm going to skip that next one. Score it at 5 1/4, 9 inches, and 10.5 inches. Now these other ones that I skipped, the two in the middle, I am going to come down not quite to this horizontal line. I'm going to stop about half an inch above it. So this is at 4.5 inches. I'm going to score down about that far, and about 9 3/4 inches. Stop about half an inch above that horizontal line. Now we need to do a little bit of trimming on here and cut on these lines up to the horizontal line. So the 4 lines that we made all the way down, cut those, and we are going to trim this end piece off completely. So get rid of that. Now the next thing I want to do is cut the hole for the snow globe all the way through both the small black cardstock and the big cardstock. And we are going to do this, we're going to see if we can make it happen at the same time. So we'll run both of them through. I'm going to lay them on top of each other. So got your base for your die cutting machine, and I'm going to lay this, I want to center the smaller piece in one of these larger openings on my big piece of cardstock. So I'm going to center it. If you wanted to I lost my train of thought. If you want to put a piece of washi tape on there to hold everything in place, you can. I am going to wing it. See if I can just hold everything in place and get it through there. But a little piece of washi tape can help to hold everything in place. So run this through the die cutting machine. And see if we got it cut through both. Got through the top one, and we got through the back one too. If it doesn't go through both, all you have to do, you'll have a mark on this bigger piece. So just line that back up and run it back through another time, and you will get it cut out completely. But that way, we make sure that the hole is in the exact same place for both the small piece and the big piece. Now, let's go ahead. I am going to emboss the smaller black piece with the bricks and mortar embossing folder. I am absolutely in love with this embossing folder. I've been using it for Christmas cards, Halloween cards, all kinds of stuff. You can use it for all sorts of different things. So run this through real fast. And here we go. That finished embossed piece. I just love that. I think it is so neat. And we'll set that aside for now. I want to loosen up, go ahead and crease on the score lines on our lantern. So for these, fold them. And then the ones that go the other direction, do those as well. On these center ones that didn't go down all the way, actually want to crease them the opposite way. That'd be the little sides on our bag or lantern. Okay. Now, I have to look at my little list. The first time, well, one of the times I've made these, I made it out of order and I messed it up. That's why I'm showing you exactly how to do it, because the order you do everything is important. So, let's go ahead and prepare the vellum to go behind that hole. So we need a haunted house and a couple of bats and some glue dots. So like I said, we are going to turn this church into a haunted house. So we'll trim off the cross at the top and we're going to glue together these two pieces. If you flip this piece over, run a little bit of glue. Am I out? Good thing I have a few of these. We'll run a little bit. And I squeeze too hard, of course. A little bit down the sides of those. And want to lay this on so that if you see these holes here, lay it on so that none of those holes show. And we'll let that sit for a minute. I want to, it looks like, I must have trimmed my piece wrong. These are supposed to come out the same size. Yours should be the same size. And real quick, I'm going to trim that down so that they are the same size. And I want to, so I have the vellum behind the black cardstock, want to flip it over so that the vellum is on top, but you can still see that hole. And I'm going to do this outside of the actual hole, but I want to make a mark so that I have an idea of where that hole is going to be. Flip it back over, and that is what we are going to use as our guide for where to put the haunted house and the bats in here. When we stick these on, I am going to use glue dots, because if you use glue on vellum, a lot of times it will cause it to warp. It won't lay flat, and I didn't want that to happen with this lantern. Looks like I'm at the end of my glue dots. So I put a couple of glue dots on the back there. I am going to stick this on right here. And I have some more glue dots on hand. So I'm going to stick one. You could put two if you wanted. I'm going to go with one. One glue dot on the back of each bat. And that is ready to go on the back of our box. So here is where the order of what we were doing gets pretty important. And this is the step I forgot the one time. And that is to put this globe through next. So these come with adhesive on the front and adhesive on the back. There's a little paper strip. We are going to pull the one off on top. Lay it down on your workspace and basically just push the paper down over top so that it fits right in there, and then run your finger around to adhere that down. Once we have that on there, we can go ahead and attach the vellum to the back. So I am going to run some snail around the outside of where that opening will be. Lay this down. Actually, I'm going to do this from the back side. And just kind of center the hole that you can see through on where you had drawn that line on your vellum. Once I've got that on there, I'm going to flip it over, press it down. I liked in mine, I only used the one glue dot in the center of the bats, and I like how their wings are kind of sticking up. Gives it a little bit of dimension in there. And next we are going to attach that brick piece over top. And I want to put dimensionals on the back. To do this, anything you can do to add more dimension on projects I really like. So that's why I did the embossing. That's why I'm doing the using dimensionals. That's why I added the dome on top of the lantern. I actually have one where I forgot to put the dome in before I put the vellum on the back, and it just does not have the same effect. It doesn't have that dimension that the dome gives, and it's not quite as neat. In the dark it looks the same, but in the light it is not as neat as the ones with the domes. And we'll go ahead and add our bow. If you haven't used glue dots before, they're pretty awesome. They do the same thing as glue, but you do not have to wait on them to dry. So if that is something you haven't used before, I highly suggest that you try some out. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love for you to make me your demonstrator. With every $50 order, I send out customer loyalty gifts. I am just starting this month, so if you're one of my customers and you haven't gotten any, don't feel left out. This is brand new. You have to keep in mind to get the customer loyalty gift, you have to use the hostess code that is posted on my website. The most recent one. These will change from time to time. So when you're placing an order, check out scrappingstampingandstuff.com. It's there on the right-hand side of my blog. It's also on my most recent blog post. Use that hostess code with any $50 or plus order. You will get a nice gift from me. This month during October, those are going to be embellishment packs. So somewhere in the neighborhood of $7 to $10 in rewards with one of our really cool embellishment packs. Okay, while I was talking, you can see I added some teared tape adhesive on this little flap on the side. I flipped it over and put some on this larger flap. You want to use some kind of strong adhesive for this part, because sometimes these boxes like to fall apart, and tear and tape should not let that happen. So I am just going to fold this up, line up the edges here, and push it together. Now to do the bottom, I'm going to fold in the side flaps, fold in the flap that doesn't have the adhesive on it. Now I'm going to pull that paper off and fold this one down. So there you have it. There's our new one and our old one. And while I'm thinking about it, I saw this laying over here. So here's the one that does not have the dome on it. And you can compare to the one that does. I know there's a glare on that from my window, and you can see, hey, you can see me up here. Hi, everybody. I wish you could see me all the time, but for now, I'm trying to keep my videos simple so you can't actually see me. So there you go, 3 Halloween lanterns. Like I said, these are really cool when it's dark with a tea light inside. I want to get a picture of all of these on my porch with my pumpkins when it's dark out. So check my website. There will be a link there in the video description, and you can go straight to my website and check it out. Thanks for stopping in, everybody.